Morning. Hey, it's your girl Bella. It's a girl. It's a girl. It's a girl. First of all, forgive me for looking like this. I am actually going to make my hair today. I have a couple of things I want to do today. First of all, I'm late. I'm so late, and being late, the car is not started. I was supposed to be somewhere by 9. Had an appointment with my nail tech. What's the issue? Yes. You
God
can
knew
start
that was
it
my last chance. Leave it alone.
finally. I beg. Okay, guys, so the car finally started. Let's hope that I'm able to meet up with my appointment. Though I'm late, I'm like 35 minutes late already. And I really need to stop this habit of going to places late. So I want to make my nails today and also my toenails and my hair. And I'll get to school and I'll make my lashes before I come back to the house and talk to you guys. See you later. Bye. Done with the lashes and I'll be making my hair later. The day I upload videos twice a week for at least 2 weeks consistently, then I can call myself a YouTuber. But till that time, which is gonna happen soon, maybe from this vlog. Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bella, and here on this vlog I talk about everything productivity, self-care, lifestyle, and all of that. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about habits of highly productive people. People that know me personally know that I'm a sucker for productivity. I love being productive. Yes, sometimes I procrastinate, but the fact that I am always conscious of the fact that I need to be productive, just it just makes it make sense because I have to, I have to show up, I have to be productive because I don't have any other option, right? And over time, being able to build those habits has helped me. And I also had the opportunity to speak to a couple of my friends who are also suckers for productivity, and I got 15 habits from them, and these are also things that I can personally relate to. So I actually wrote them down so I don't forget, and I'm starting with the first one. So the first thing here is that they follow the 80-20 rule. Now, if you've not read that book, you should. I think I'm gonna link it up somewhere either in the description box. Maybe you could download a PDF or something or get the hard copy. Now, in layman terms, what 80-20 simply means is that you achieve 80% of your results or the results by putting in 20% of the work. So there are things that people, most times I get to hear stuff like, oh, it's only people that have money that outsource work, that outsource certain things. It's not necessarily like that, because if you try to do everything you want to do all at the same time, you discover that you're going to waste a whole lot of time and still not achieve majority of the things you wanted to achieve. So adopting the 80-20 principle is what works for almost everybody, especially productive and rich people. So productive people, rich people, it works for them because that's what they adopt. You're not going to see somebody who is busy trying to achieve their goals, someone who is busy trying to check off the stuff on their to-do list, or someone who is busy trying to chase the bag. You won't see them sit down and wash their clothes. You won't see them sit down and do certain things. It doesn't mean they really have that money. Sometimes you outsource, right? Some people try to work smart. So let's bring it back to the home setting. So you're in your house, you have to clean, you have to wash, you have to cook, you have to do so many things. You have to go to the market, you have to take care of your own self. There's so many things you need to do. So let's just come down to washing, right? Now you notice that most people, probably get washing machines or send their clothes to the laundromat. It doesn't necessarily mean they really have that money to do that. It simply means that they're trying to save time. Time is money. By the time you're able to calculate how much you make per hour based on your salary, then you'll be able to place value on your time. So these guys have sat down to calculate the fact that this 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours that I'm supposed to use and hand wash my clothes, I can actually throw them into the machine and it does the work. Or I can just send it off to the laundromat and they do the work. I save the 2 hours to myself and I'm able to do, what I'm supposed to do. So it basically works like that in all aspects. Now, in terms of productivity, what are those things that you can do personally? What are those things that you can outsource? What are those things that you can, take over to the next day? So once you're able to highlight these things, you'll be able to focus more on the things that only you can do and then outsource the rest. There's no harm in outsourcing. So yeah, they follow the 80-20 rule and it works all the time. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is that the first part of their day is strictly for them. The first part, the moment you wake up, it's for you. Some people use that time to meditate, do yoga, stretch, work out, do some planning, do some meditation, do a lot of things for themselves. Some people even are even more productive in the mornings. Do you understand? So the first part of the day is for, you can't just wake up and you're in somebody's business, or you're trying to please somebody, you're trying to, I get it that some of you work for other people, so you're definitely going to wake up and get ready and just start going to work and stuff like that. But to some extent, you're still taking it to yourself, because you definitely had a shower, you definitely had to brush your teeth, you definitely had to eat. Sometimes people work out in the mornings before even starting their day. So the first part of your day is for you, because you're able to have that quiet time with yourself and basically plan towards achieving certain things that you want to do that day. And the next thing I am going to talk about is improved email etiquette. Now, most productive people that you find have an improved email etiquette. Now, what do I mean by that? You're working, or you definitely need to send out emails to people, do stuff, you're gonna see someone's phone and you see that you have like 25,000 unread emails. How is that even possible? Like, how can you sleep at night knowing that you have 25,000 in unread emails? Do you understand? So productive people have an improved email etiquette, in the sense that you receive an email, you're able to sort out your emails, the important ones, the ones that need your responses, the ones that don't need your responses. Now you're able to sort them out and send a response at least within an hour or two. You send a response, and if it's something you can't attend to immediately, of course there is a reschedule or the snooze feature, so you can snooze an email to come in when you'll actually be ready to read and respond to that email. There's no harm in that. Personally, I check my emails at least thrice or 5 times a day. I definitely check my emails when I wake up in the morning, and I definitely check my emails before I go to bed. So, however, how many times I want to check it within the day depends on how many official emails enter that I need to respond to ASAP. Right, but I always do early morning checks and night checks, because you don't want to miss that important email. You don't want to have lots of unread and unattended to emails staring at you while you're just going about your normal day like there's nothing going on. So definitely going to see productive people improve this etiquette, because you don't want your mind to be divided. You want to be able to do what you have to do without necessarily thinking about the unread emails that you're yet to read, the unread messages that you're yet to read and respond. Now you just have to be able to set something that works for you. If you don't have time to respond now, snooze it. It comes back when you have time. You respond and life goes on. And then always remember to take out junk emails that you don't need. So taking out junk emails, that's also going to keep your inbox clean. So the fourth thing I'm going to talk about is that they have created a system that works for them. When we talk about productivity, most productivity experts fail to mention the fact that what works for person A will not work for person B. There are different things that work for different people. So, developing a system that works for you would help you go a long way in terms of being productive. Are you a morning person? Are you an afternoon person? Are you an evening person? How do you tackle tasks? Are you the type that tackles things that are more complex first, or are you the type that tackles stuff that are less complex? You have to study yourself and see how you naturally relate to things and create a system that works for you. Personally, I am more productive in the mornings and in the night. So during the day, I can be lazing about, watching movie, doing everything I have to do. But early hours of that morning and later at night, in the evening, you find me on my work desk. I am working. I am, trying to get certain things done because that is my most productive state, or that's my most productive time of the day. Do you understand? So find what system works for you, create it, develop it, and stick to it. Now, that doesn't mean that this may not change. There are times that you just discover that, oh, you have that motivation to work in the afternoon. Why not? Go ahead and work in the afternoon, right? So, creating a system that works for you will eventually change. As it changes, change with that and move to the next thing that works. We all have to keep evolving, right? So yeah, the fifth thing that highly productive people do is that they do not multitask. I don't know who said this, who told you, or who encouraged you to multitask, but honestly, multitasking is not good for your brain. Yes, we multitask a lot. As you're sitting down, you're thinking about so many things. It's completely natural. But when it has to do with you working and using your intellect, it doesn't make sense for you to multitask because it's just like opening a book and you open book A and you open book B. You're trying to read book A and then you hop onto book B. Before you know, you're going to mix up the two information you get from these books. The school of thought in this book is different from this one. So you eventually start feeling like, oh, I've read this thing somewhere. Where did I read it? Was it this book? And you start searching. Look at it that way. It's literally the same thing. If you have things to do, list them out. What are those things? Like I said earlier, are you someone that tackles difficult things first or less difficult things? If you're someone that tackles difficult things first, when you list out these things that you have to do, you have to just tackle them. Just start. If you feel like you get too stuck, you can't continue and all of those things, just leave it for a while and continue with the rest of the things you do. Before you know it, you come back to it and you're done. But the point where you're trying to work on everything at the same time, it's just not going to make you unproductive. It's going to make you feel like you don't know what you're doing. You're going to get stuck. You're going to have blockers. You're going to start feeling depressed because you're not able to finish anything because you were multitasking. So, what actually works for me is putting timelines to the things that I have to do. So looking at the complexity of that stuff, how many minutes or how many hours is it going to take me to finish it? Is it going to take me 1 hour or 30 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 or 20? Do you understand? So putting timelines to this thing would also help you stay on track. Sometimes you discover that you will go above that, right? And which is completely okay. I mean, life happens, things happen. You might put something for 30 minutes and you end up finishing it by 1 hour. But the fact that you've put a time into it, it makes you accountable, to that stuff that you want to do. So yeah, do not multitask. It kills productivity. Okay, the sixth thing that highly productive people do is that they eliminate distractions. You are you, you know what distracts you, you know the things that causes with distractions. Basically, if you're someone that the moment you pick your phone, you just start scrolling endless or going to the bottomless pit of social media distractions. You're chatting, notifications are entering, you're seeing an interesting video or an interesting post, you're doing this, you're doing that. Before you know it, 2 hours gone, you're still on your phone. Do you understand? There are also some people that have distractions, human distractions. Let's say you're around people and you're talking a lot, or they're gisting a lot, you're trying to concentrate and they're interrupting you at intervals. You need to list out these things that you feel are distractions and then start dealing with them one after the other. For instance, if you notice that you get lost a lot in social media, you just start scrolling down endlessly. You can put a focus time for yourself. You can even turn off your phone. That's why if you have a Wi-Fi, I would advise you turn off your phone. That phone call that won't enter your phone in the next 1 hour isn't gonna kill you, isn't gonna ruin anything. Or better still, put your phone on DND. I hear stuff like you've not made it in life yet, or you've not made money yet, you're putting your phone on DND. Yes, you're working towards making the money. It doesn't mean I should blast my phone with calls. If you have an opportunity, excuse me, if you have an opportunity for me, you should be able to send me an email, or you should be able to ask for my availability and call me. That I don't have money doesn't mean that you should just blast my phone with calls and expect me to just rush and pick up. No, people work with certain principles. So putting your phone on DND doesn't mean any. It means that you value your peace, you value your mental state, and you value your time. Now, that very 1 hour or 2 hours of putting your phone on do not disturb mode is going to help you concentrate because you're not getting notifications. Nobody is calling you. It's just you and your time trying to do the things that you have to do. In worst cases, turn it off. There was a day I had to turn off my phone. The notifications were too much. Even on DND, I had to keep going to my phone, checking who was messaging me. And before you knew it, someone sent a video on Instagram, on TikTok. I clicked on it, I opened. Before you knew I was watching, I discovered that 30 minutes after I was still on that social media app with that one message that I actually went to check. So that day, I turned off my phone and I was supposed to work for an hour that day. I had something I needed to do urgently. And you guys would not believe that even when my phone was on, within the space of 30 minutes, I had touched my phone over 12 times. I kid you not. I had touched my phone over 12 times because I was trying to check. Oh, I have messages. I have, and then when I carry it up, I discover that I turned it off. I'll keep it back again. Shortly after that, I'll carry it again, and I discovered that I have a certain addiction to my phone. So that day, I felt peace that I was able to work on my laptop without using my phone. And then you may say, "Oh, what if my work is on the phone? What if?" Of course, if you have something really important you need to do, put your phone on DND. Avoid distractions. If there are people around you, tell them, "Oh, you know what? I'm not going to be free. Give me some time." And I mean, who's gonna hate's gonna hate. Who's gonna be peace gonna be peace. Nobody is supposed, not everybody is supposed to understand that you need your privacy, you need your peace, and then you need your time to be able to do what you have to do. I hope I passed across that point very well. Okay, so the seventh thing is that failure doesn't make them give up. Now, you may fail at one thing once or twice, and then you just feel that's it, that's enough. I mean, this thing wasn't made for me, yada yada yada. No, productive people don't fail. They don't they don't see failure as failure. They see failure as a challenge, as a motivation to be able to stand up and do more. So if you're trying to do something and it's not working, why not go through the other route? Why not, do certain things that, why not do things differently? You can't do the same thing and expect different results, right? You have to do different things to expect different results. So why not go through another route? Why not adopt another method? If it still doesn't work, pivot, do something else. You don't take no for an answer. You don't take failure as the final bus stop. You just have to keep pushing. That's what productive people do. The next thing is they reward themselves. So for you to enjoy being productive, you need to cultivate the habit of rewarding yourself. So reward can be a little thing as, oh, I just finished this task, I owe myself an ice cream. Oh, I just did that. I owe myself a movie. Oh, I owe myself an 8 hours sleep or 12 hours sleep. I owe myself. It can be as little as that. It can be as little as you going for shopping, you taking yourself out, you buying a book, you doing some self-care stuff. It's as little as that. When you cultivate that habit of appreciating yourself when you achieve certain tasks, it's gonna become a source of motivation. So you discover that you're now the one being a source of motivation for your own self. So the things you do for yourself, the things you buy for yourself. Oh, I want to get this book that I've always wanted to get, but I can't get it because I need to just finish. You finish what you have, you need to have, and you just say, okay, let me get this as a way to appreciate myself. Or there's one gadget you've always wanted to get, and you finished one major task. My darling, go ahead and get that gadget because you need it. You deserve it. Do you understand? When you put in price tags like this, it's gonna help you stay on track and it's gonna help you always look forward to getting yourself gifts. Okay, so the next thing I want to say is that they eat smart. Somebody will say, oh, Bella, stop it. What has eating smart got to do with being productive? It has a whole lot to do with being productive, darling. Because if you eat smart, eat healthy, you feel okay in your body and you'll be energetic. You'll be able to work. See, you can't be drinking Gary 247 and then you're you can't be drinking Gary 247 and then you're expecting that you sit down and want to work and the inspirations will be coming. No, imagine drinking Gary for like 1 week, 2 weeks. In fact, that stuff that you're trying to be productive at will not even look at you twice because where's the motivation? So try to eat smart. You may say, oh, I don't have the money. You don't necessarily need to break a bank to be able to eat smart and healthy. So what I mean by eat smart is eat healthy, right? So yeah, you don't necessarily have that money, but you have things around you that you can incorporate, right? I don't like recommending meals for people because I'm not a doctor. I don't know about your health conditions. What works for me might not work for you. So just eat healthy and try to eat smart. Sometimes you can mix it up, till you eventually start getting used to eating smart. Next thing is that they plan overnight. They plan a night before. Productive people plan a night before because you have finished your day and you have a glimpse of what you want tomorrow to be like, things you want to do. When you wake up in the morning, are you stepping out very early? Are there things you want to do? So planning a night before helps you set you on track. So by the time you wake up, you just go straight into the things you have to do. So imagine you're a morning person. You already know what you want to do this morning, what you want to do in the afternoon, what you want to do in the evening. Now, that doesn't mean that other things might not come up along the way. They're definitely going to come up, but the fact that you've planned a night before will just set you on that pace or that path. And you just wake up and you get started. Before the day ends, you've checked a couple of things off your to-do list. You're gonna feel fulfilled. Okay, so the 11th thing is that they use productivity apps. Yeah, there are lots of productivity apps out there that you probably feel like, all these apps, they are storing my data, they are doing this. No, darling, there are lots of productivity apps that you can use that would help you stay accountable to your own self. Sometimes most of us don't have accountability partners. Even if we have accountability partners, they may not be consistent, and I mean life is ever evolving. Life is consistent. You have to just keep moving, you have to keep going. So at every point in your life you need to be accountable, and then sometimes you find yourself in a situation where not everybody have that enthusiasm, not everybody has that motivation to, push you or be accountable and all of this. So it still boils down to you. You have to be the one to pick yourself up, look for ways to be accountable to your own self. How am I going to do this? You use productivity apps, right? When they say productivity people, or yeah, I was being productive, I listened to a productivity expert, or I did this, I did that, it doesn't necessarily mean that those guys have accountability partners. You are your own accountability partner, because you know what you want to do, you know what you want to achieve, you know how you want to achieve it. Yeah, you can reach out to people and all, but it still boils down to you. Imagine nobody is available to push you, nobody is available to motivate you, and all of those. My darling, you're definitely gonna push yourself, except you want Sapa to kill you, or you want Sapa to finish you. Okay, so be an accountability partner for yourself. Use productivity apps. They work, honestly. They work. They work, and there are lots of them. We're definitely going to learn more about productivity apps on this channel. There are a whole lot of them that you can take advantage of for your use, and they all have different uses, right? So yeah, check out productivity apps. The few that I use personally, I use Todoist, I use Me Plus, I use Calm, I use Freedom, I use Notion, I use even Google Docs. I use a whole lot of apps on my phone that help me stay productive. I recently downloaded Me Plus, and funny enough, I saw the advert. It was a video ad, and I really loved the whole color, the aesthetics, and everything. So I downloaded it. I discovered I couldn't use it until I paid. So, being that I had seen how it's being used over time via their ads and all, I had to. I somehow paid for it somehow, because I really wanted that app. And I kid you not, I haven't regretted, right? It makes you plan and do things in a fun way. The whole aesthetics, you can add emojis, and I am an emoji person. I literally send emails with emojis. Do you understand? So it just helps you do so many things in a very fun way, and so far so good. It has helped. So, and then you can send recurring tasks. So what you do in the morning when you wake up, what you do in the night when you want to go to bed, certain things. It just works. Notion as well. Notion is my baby. It works. Okay, so that's that for that. We're gonna talk more on productivity apps. So the 12th thing I want to talk about is that highly productive people exercise. You don't need to go to the gym to be able to exercise. Exercising doesn't help you lose weight. What you eat helps you lose weight. So before you go ahead to say, why should I go to the gym? Why should I exercise? Why should I do this? I don't want to lose weight. Yada, 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 yada. Nah, it doesn't help you lose weight. It only aids. It contributes a little percentage to your weight loss. But the only thing that actually makes you lose weight is what you eat. That's the main thing that helps you lose weight. But going to the gym, working out, exercising, stretching, it helps you release your muscles, it helps you burn more calories, it helps you stay fit, right? It helps you stay active. You want to work, your mind is pumping everywhere, you're just so active, you just want to get things done. That's what it helps you do, and it's also a form of therapy, right? So you understand, you don't need to go to the gym to go and lose weight. Just say that it's healthy food. 1 month, 2 months, the fat is gone. Do you understand? So they learn to exercise because it helps them mentally, it helps them remain active. So that's one thing you should do that people are not going to tell you. Okay, the 13th thing is that they learn to say no. I personally learned this the hard way, and I'm still learning as I speak. Learning to say no will help you a lot on your productive journey. Learning to say no at all times, no matter who the person is, no matter what the person asks you for, but learning to say no will help you, because imagine you're trying to do something and somebody reaches out, hey Bella, I want you to help me do this. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I'll probably carried over to tomorrow or next tomorrow, or when I'm a bit free. Oh, I want you to come do this with us space with us. Oh, I want you to come do this. Oh, I want you to come do that. Do you understand? So you've planned out your day, you've planned out your month, you know how you want things to go, and somebody is bringing in something in the middle of it, except it's something you're okay with, then of course you can do it. But if it's something at first thought you're not okay with, but maybe over time you want to consider the person, please darling, say no. They're not going to beat you. This is something I learned the hard way, like I said, and I'm still learning. And the few times I've been able to say no, I know what impact that made in my life. So I'm gonna keep doing that because it works. Okay, so we're down to the 14th. I said 15th, 15 rather. So we're down to 14. The 14th thing that highly productive people do is that they use automation to manage their lives. Oops, did I just shake my camera? Sorry. They use automation to manage their lives. So what I mean by that is setting alarms. That's you automating the time you wake up, setting your alarms, setting to-do lists, giving specific deadlines, setting reminders, time blocking your calendars. These are all part of automation. I keep saying if there is no meeting in my calendar, be rest assured that I am not going to show up. It is what it is. I am never going to show up if that stuff isn't in my calendar. And then for people that just wake up and fixing a meeting in someone's calendar, just like that. You've not asked me for my availability. You've not asked me anything. You just sneak in and sneak out, drop the meeting and leave. I have no words for you, but trust me, darling, I'm not gonna come except it's something that is really, really urgent. Do you understand? So automation would help you stay productive because you've already set these things up, and you know that XYZ time you're gonna do this, XYZ time you're gonna do. So it's more like a reoccurring set of things. And finally, down to the final thing, I saved the best for the last, which is that highly productive people learn or know how to set clearly defined goals. Learn how to set clearly defined goals. You don't just set goals, you have to define them. You have to know what this will fetch you. Don't just set a baseless goal. At the end of the day, what did you do? You say, oh, I did this. I drank water. I slept. I did. Of course, you drank water. It has health benefits. You slept. It has health benefits as well, mental benefits and all that. But in the life of today, the things you have to do, the monies you have to make, set those clearly defined goals. What is it going to bring to you when you work on this thing? It's going to help you get that back, honey. So that's the end of our video today. I hope you enjoyed. If you learned anything or two, please share this video with your friends, comment, interact with my videos, like, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Yes, I know that's a lot of call to action, but feel free to do anyone. Feel free to like, but most importantly, subscribe to my channel. And yes, I keep saying it, this is going to be a productivity, self-care, and lifestyle channel. I'm gonna try as much as I can to improve every time because yeah, just I'm a new baby in the YouTube space. So we're gonna try to improve, we're gonna try to bring in content, we're gonna try to bring in lots of amazing things for you. So thank you so much, guys.